Hello, we're doing a couple of very, very nice small Italian or Maltese water gilded neo-Gothic, Gothic-esque platform mirrors. The reason I latched onto these mirrors was because they have a remarkable compatibility with what I would describe as Pugin-esque English neo-Gothic design. And in England there is a very hot market for Pugin-esque furnishings. Now these are not Pugin, they're not designed by Pugin, but they are very much the source design of what Pugin used in England. For example, he did the Houses of Parliament as a scheme. He didn't just do the building or the furniture or the windows, he coordinated and orchestrated the overall effect. That would be going down to things like the railings outside, the roof tiles, the windows, the door furniture, the lamps for the gas, the masonry, the mullions, the colour of the fabrics used, the colour of the plasterwork used, that type of thing. So he was using some medieval designs brought back to life by Pugin. So these are both water gilded. They are a plain timber, one piece of wood, not plywood. We've had reliably checked they're not plywood. You have to be really careful with this sort of thing. They have modern mirrors. The mirrors are slightly deteriorated. There are some spots on them, but they're not mint. But you don't really want them mint because they look too new. So they are modern mirrors. They're very hard to date. I mean, they're not medieval, obviously, and I don't think actually they are dating from the time of Pugin. I think that they are going to have to be early 20th century. Now there could be 1870, 1880, 1890 to push, but I think looking at the glass, looking at the timber, looking at the wear, they probably are 20th century. The punchwork to me looks like 20th century punchwork. This is where, after the item's been gilded, you literally wallop it with a tool or a round-headed nail, and you create this impression of relief. So you have a board, you have a line cut into the board in the manner of sgraffito. You have definite areas of sgraffito around these leaves. You have raised, applied bits of wood to give a 3D effect. The whole thing is smothered in gesso, which is rubber glue and plaster, essentially. And the gesso, when it first goes on, has lots more glue in it, and it's warm. And when the glue hits the cold paint, it solidifies. And as you add more layers of gesso, because there'll be 5 to 10 layers of gesso, they change the glue constituent, so there's less and less glue, so that when you get to the last layer, there's more chalk, more plaster than glue. And that means they can finish it better because it's softer. So they sand it very, very fine. They then apply a paint. The paint is called bole, B-O-L-E. The paint is made of clay and rabbit glue, again warmed, so that when it does set, it hardens. You'll see there is some redness coming through where it's warm. You'll see that on 99% of gilded items. You can get yellow bole, you can get black bole, but you'll find it's often red. It's more warm. It's a nice effect. Gold leaf goes on, water gilding. Just water, put on the bowl. The bowl has already got the glue in it, so the glue becomes solvent to a degree, and then the gilding just is attracted to it. It grabs it, and once it's on, you can't move it. It's stuck. You let it dry. You fill any areas where it's not attached, and you wipe it down with a soft article, for example, cotton wool, and then you burnish it to give it the final glow. This has been burnished to a very high degree, this leaf, as is the border. This area has been gilded to a much lesser degree to give you different elements of texture and pattern. So there's a lot going on. It's not just chucked together and smothered with gold. As I say, the real gold leaf. This is not reproduction or fake or simulated gold leaf. Right, so we've discussed the gold leaf. We've discussed the burnishing. The burnishing is done with a tool with a stone head. The stone head is agate. Very, very hard stone, smooth. You have different shapes of agate tools, but that is used to get this high burnish. Now, the reason I know about the gold leaf is because I actually did a tutorial course in Malta with a gold leaf master. Now, there's the gilders all over the place, but there's not a lot of gilders who can teach you the traditional form of gilding using traditional materials. So this gentleman, who I won't name because I don't want to embarrass him, he said to me, I think I'm one of the best 4 gilders in Malta. I was coaxing it out of him. He wasn't announcing it, and I think the impression I got, because I saw some of his other work, was that he's probably the best gilder in Malta. He's doing work for the church, doing work for private clients, doing monumental paintings. Now, we're not talking big painting, we're talking frame for pictures which are 30 foot by 20 foot, you know, proper things. Helmets that need 4 men to lift. And so I found it very interesting. And one of the things I found very particularly interesting is he told me that he uses 2 coats of gold leaf. When you're burnishing gold leaf, as I've done, you'll find it's extremely difficult, and the difficulty is combined with a tedious nature, a repetitive nature, and you're relying on things like the air quality. If you have any wind in the air, your gold leaf just gone. You're relying on things like drying times and the temperature of the air and how moist the air is. You're looking at things like daylight. And down to things like the quality of the air. Is it dusty? Has it got hairs in it? Has it got fluff in it? So it's a really, really interesting thing. And if you learn about gold leaf and try it, you get a different take on the skill, and you can really drill down to the essence of gold leaf, whether it's on a picture or on a chair or whatever. So the expense of gold leaf is cringeworthy. I would estimate the gold leaf on that, if you're working in a commercial environment and you can buy it in bulk, it's going to be 60 to 80 euros. If you make a few mistakes and you have errors you need to go over, you're going to push that up accordingly. There are different gold leaves. There's 22 carat, 24 carat. There's rose gold leaf. There's blonde ones. I think the French call them champagne ones. So you can pick your gold leaf, and you can also pick fake gold leaf or fake silver leaf if you want to try different things. Very, very good, very interesting skill. And this teacher, you know, it's very much a black art. Every gilder has a different way of doing it. He said to me, all his gilder colleagues do it a different way. So, you know, I had one version of how to gild, but I think, given it's Malta and they have got sort of 1,000 years of gilding here, rather like Italy, that it's nice to use the traditional materials like the rabbit glue and the Italian clay and the old tools and forms of decoration. So obviously there's gilding in Thailand, there's gilding in Japan, lots of it, and there's gilders in London, there's gilders in every town, city of the world. There are amateur gilders and hobbyist gilders, there are commercial restorers who can gild, but it's really quite a more deeply interesting skill. Okay, so we've talked about gilding, we've talked about the very Gothic, neo-Gothic shape. We've talked about the use for the English market. We've talked about the age, early 20th century. So I hope that's been interesting, and these will be on our website. We do sell lots of pairs of mirrors. We really like to have pairs of mirrors, so you'll see many others as well. Bye.